Hi everyone, it's Jody with Inspiring Joy. Welcome to my channel. So our video today is going to be a craft for Valentine's Day and also a garland for the mantle. So stay tuned and I'll walk you through both. So on the table in front of me, I have the heart wire frame that I picked up from Hobby Lobby. And I have my wire cutters, my scissors, and a few particular floral picks that I had from another project. I also have two spools of ribbon. One is a pink satin and another is an ivory satin. So what I'll begin to do is tie off the initial ribbon, which I'm going to use in this case, the pink satin. What I'll do at the tip of the heart frame is tie a knot to start the ribbon, and once I tie the knot, I'll cut off the tails from that tie-on. I want to secure the ribbon at the base of the heart frame so I can then begin weaving that ribbon around the frame, but I first need to secure the ribbon. So from here, after I tie it off, I'll put part of that ribbon, the knot of that ribbon, in the center of the frame and then begin wrapping the ribbon around the frame. As I'm moving the ribbon in and out of the frame, I'm recognizing that it would be easier to cut some of the ribbon from the spool to be able to manage that ribbon length better. I was finding here that the ribbon itself was getting a bit tangled around the frame, so I took a pause, cut a bit of the length of the ribbon so I could manage that a little bit more easily through the frame itself as I was weaving the ribbon. So once I cut the ribbon free from the spool, I was able to, as I said before, maneuver this ribbon a little bit more easily around the frame. I overlapped the ribbon about maybe a ½ inch. You could even do a ¼ inch over top itself as you go around the frame. It just depends on the tightness that you want of the ribbon. I wanted the ribbon pretty snug around the frame, so I took time to weave it in and out between the center and around, just to ensure the security of the ribbon. I just don't want the ribbon to come off the frame as I'm using it in my displays. So from here, the idea is just keep wrapping it through the center and around the frame. And our cat Boo, of course, continues to want to play with the ribbon and help me He's so cute. He always likes to be a part of the crafts that I work on and the projects. So I just kept moving it through the frame, and once we get towards the end, I'll show you how we then add in the flowers. I'm now getting to a point where I'm losing the ribbon that I started with. It's getting shorter and shorter. So at this point in time, I place my wire cutter on top because that's able to hold down the ribbon where I've stopped at the moment. I'm then pulling out a certain length of ribbon as well from the spool and cutting off that section. And then I'm tying that new section to my old section that I just finished, wrapping around the frame, cutting off the tails of that tie-on, that knot, and then incorporating that knot back onto the frame in the center, and then looping that new ribbon section around that new knot where I have tied on the first ribbon with the new ribbon, the start of the new ribbon. And I continue from here to wrap the rest around the frame. I get about 3/4 around, and I have about maybe 2 to 3 inches remaining on the frame, and that's where I stop with this ribbon to then add the flower picks that I've chosen for my wreath. So at this point, I have finished wrapping that second piece of ribbon, and I need to tie it off. So I take a scrap piece of ribbon that I had laying around, that's the same pink satin ribbon, and I use it to create a new tie and tie it off. So I now have 2 segments of ribbon, both tied and both incorporated into the actual part of the frame itself. So I have a little bit of a tail left there from this second tie, and I'm going to keep that there, and we'll show you here in a moment why. So now I'm adding my picks. I'm just kind of sticking them into the knot area of that ribbon to secure them, and it is not particularly easy, so it takes a little bit of movement and ingenuity there to get that moving and to secure them. So now I'm cutting, using some of the floral wire, cutting off a piece. I'm going to attach, oh, there's our other cat Brody, also very helpful when I'm working on projects. But I'm, excuse me, I'm going to now tie the floral wire ribbon around the ends of the picks so I can secure them into the ribbon as well. So it's merely a matter of just looping that wire around, tying it together, securing your picks into your ribbon however it's best for you. And it really is kind of just a trial and error. Try some picks in some areas of your wreath. If it works, great. And if you don't like it, change it. I didn't particularly like the one here at the top, it didn't stay in as well as I wanted it to. I don't think the end was as long as it needed to be. So I did not end up using the one that I'm working on right now, this top red one. And that's fine. You know, it's fine to make changes. It's how we move through this and the end product in the end, and the enjoyment that we have and the joy that we find in doing these projects and these crafts that I particularly like. And I hope this inspires each and every one of you to try something new, even if wreath making or crafting may not be your thing, if you will, or your interest. Finding some joy and enjoyment in whatever you do, finding something in a day that brings you joy is what I hope inspires you by watching my videos. So after I have my picks in my wreath as I want them, I'm now going to take another segment of scrap ribbon and tie that around the base of the picks as well. So I'm just going to take a piece of ribbon there. You can use a scrap piece or you can cut off a new one. It's up to you. And then take that piece of ribbon and wrap it around the end parts of your picks. So the idea is to secure your picks with floral wire, with additional ribbon at the place where you've tied that final knot of all of the ribbons coming together. You can leave the tails if you'd like. You can trim them off. You can wrap them around again as I have and use that as an additional tie there as well. And then you can cut off those end pieces if you'd like, or you can incorporate those into the final segment of the wreath. So from here, I will grab another piece of ribbon and finish off that final little end piece. Now, as you go around the ribbon, as you go around the frame with your ribbon, if there are other areas where you want floral picks, just leave a space there to incorporate them into the wire frame, or maybe wherever you've tied off another section, you can use that as an area for your picks. Totally up to you, however you feel it's best for what you want and the look that you're going for. You can also weave your ribbon in and out of the frame. I found that particularly tedious and I did not have time to do that on my end, but if you do, that's great. If you want to tie off, you know, little sections of ribbon all the way around and make it more of that relaxed look, that's totally fine too. I just chose to do it this way for the look that I was going for. I wanted something kind of clean looking, satiny, pretty and pink with a lot of different florals. And at this point, I will pick up for part 2 and show you the finished product.